head of the MA Footwear in London College of Fashion. I am a visiting lecturer in Geneva for fashion accessories. I do my own interior accessories for design galleries. I make footwear, but very experimental, so sometimes for performance and sometimes for catwalk. And I'm doing a little, sometimes I make bespoke footwear, but not so often. And I do, I'm setting up a little label now under a different name, which is actually the most wearable things I've made, which is a totally new experience for me. I think it's very interesting because what I've understood also is that Turkey obviously has a lot of industry, which is fantastic, but people are less creative, and I think this school tries to tap into this unique point over here in which you develop creativity as well as a relationship with industry. What I've seen from the students so far, I think it's good. They try to push it. They have day jobs, so they work hard. And it looks good. I'm here to do workshops once, well not once, but I've been here 3 times in the past 6 months. First was footwear related, then accessories related, and now it's more based on techniques and tutorials on their own projects. That's the final piece, or final pieces. With me now they're doing 2 pairs of shoes, and I think they also do bags, but I don't know how many exactly in the end. Well, retail I don't know, because I don't sell here, but I think it's great that compared to Western Europe, the industry is actually in the city, which is amazing. Even compared to some Italian places like Florence, where everything is a little bit around the city, and you still have to go from place to place. There's much more variety. Everything you can get here, and I think that's great. Obviously, for me, it's a bit far, so I have to prepare myself, and I can't sit in the factory to, look at the things. So it's going slower. I don't really have a brand. The only brand that I'm doing is the thing I'm doing now in Turkey, which has a different name. I see myself more as a creative professional, if you like, because I do so many different things, and both in teaching as well in making objects, sometimes for performance, sometimes for interior. People buy my things or ask me to do a project for them because it's different. So in that sense I offer a different view on things. What I'm working on now is for the Saint-Etienne Design Biennale in 2015, is vases, a piece of furniture. It's for the Grotesque exhibition. It's got a long French name, like everything French. So I don't know what, I can't remember it. And then I'm writing a bit of text for the catalogue as well, about grotesque in design. On the street, I think. I used to find a lot of inspiration in nightclubs, but since I guess I'm too old to go there, I don't really, well, it's not really true, but not so much there anymore. But I used to have a time when I read a lot, like material culture studies, and I thought that was very inspirational. So I think it shifts all the time. Art, obviously. Literature, I find actually, literature and film, I think, that's the most constant one. Because if you look at a lot of work that I do, it's all about narratives. There's all kinds of stories going on. And very often I take stories which are universal or archetypical, and I invent new forms with it. Everything has a context. So if you design for catwalk, the only aim is basically to get the girls, to the front of the catwalk and back, and whatever happens in the back, if they fall or whatever, the shoes fall apart, it doesn't matter. I think chic is never a word I've used. Most of the time, I think I like to provoke a little bit, perhaps. Yeah, that's. I think if the things that has to sell to somebody always have to have a little aura of chicness, which can come in a strong concept or in a particular material. But I'm not as chic as let's say Yves Saint Laurent or something like that. Well, that also changes, I suppose. But I really like Antonioni movies, Italian filmmaker. Because I think loneliness looks so beautiful in it. It's very melancholic. I think Henry Miller as a writer I find very inspiring, but not literally because he is visual, but it's more a feeling. I like John Waters. I find him inspiring, also because of his movies, because they're so bad. And I like a bit of bad taste. For example, with the use of rubber, I use it a lot. I think generally grotesques, and I find quite inspiring, which is something that's going through all ages, really. Brutalist architecture. I don't know. It's not even one particular thing, I suppose. Always work hard, push it hard, and stay close to your own ideas as much as you can. Be original and unique, I suppose. I mean, it's a bit of a cliche word, but I think in the environment of industry, industry is actually coming around to it too. They need unique views and they need individuality. I think that's important. Well, it's a lot of clothing, right? I don't know too much about clothing, to be fairly honest. And I think clothing works best on a catwalk, because it's a show. So I find it hard to comment on it, but it looks well executed to me, as far as I can see. It looks creative. They seem to be pushing boundaries of what clothing can be. Personally, I like it even more if it goes more extravagant. More extreme. Yeah, I like it.